Okay, you guys, you are going to be blown away by today's show. We have Dr. Latifat Akintade, a gastroenterologist who talks about money and money mindset and how she got to be where she is around all of that and the things that she is doing to help other badass women physicians understand money, get it off their plates as a thing to be worried about, and just be another one of those things that you understand and have to give you options in your life. You guys are going to love this show.
Be the change you want to see. Make a difference by giving your money a purpose, a mission to do good. Welcome to Money with Mission, where we show you how to create passive income so that you have options for how to work and how to live your life while leaving a legacy of positive social impact.
I am so excited to have you. You started MoneyFit MD how long ago? And tell us the story of why you did that.
So, hello, everybody. I started officially 2 years ago. Before that, it would be classified as a hobby.
Okay.
And MoneyFit MD was not something that I dreamt of doing or planned on doing. It kind of happened. And the reason why I didn't plan on doing it was like, I was not someone that knew anything about money, talk less of talk about money, teach about money, or even do a podcast about money. So, but just to rewind back a little bit further, I'm a physician. I went to med school in San Francisco, undergraduate in LA, and I was fortunate to train at amazing places. And what happened as I walked through was I also accumulated debt, right? So UCSF, thankfully in undergrad, I actually didn't have debt. I had scholarships, but in med school, I got debt. And then in residency, I didn't know anything about what to do about the debt except ignore it. So I pretty much did forbear, defer, anything that got it out of my face was what I did. So, and then I had my first kid in residency and my second kid in fellowship. And I'm a GI doc. So I'm going through fellowship because I want to be the best GI doctor that I could be, right? And I still don't know anything about my money, by the way. I didn't know how much I owed. I didn't even know who I owed, to be honest with you. And then I was going towards the end of fellowship. And I think I had this realization that, okay, looking around me, fantastic, amazing, smart physicians that love their patients were burning out. I knew that I wanted to be an employed physician because I do have an interest in inflammatory bowel diseases, which is best done in an academic or large tertiary community-based center.
Okay.
And so I knew I was going to be employed. So here I was with debt that I didn't know how much was, right? Choosing the employed life and knew zero about money. And I have kids and I knew that I did not want to work 100 hours per week. And I also knew that I did not want to burn out. And I had that realization that if I did not change things, that's where I was going to end up. So really, I just started 6 years ago learning how to understand my money and figure out what the heck I owed, as basic as that. Okay. So there was no MoneyFit MD at all in the picture. If you told me 6 years ago that I was going to be teaching people about money, I would have laughed and like walked away because I would go, you're high on something, right? So literally my journey was to learn for myself and figure out this thing that seemed so hard that everybody seemed to make such a big deal out of. Oh, it's money. It's serious. It's money. You can't joke about it. It's money. You have to do it this way. Otherwise, you're not going to succeed at it. So really for me was figuring out my own path for myself. And once I figured it out, I'm like, okay, now this doesn't work. This like sterile, monotoned, explained shaming based money system doesn't work for me. How can I figure out what works for me? So I figured out what worked for me. It was simple, it was non-judgmental, it was reproducible. And then everyone started asking me for help. My friends, my colleagues, my family members started asking, Latifat, we know you know how to simply, like, you make it make sense. Can you describe what exactly is this? Like, how does this? So I started helping people just because that's what we do as physicians.
Yes.
When we learn things, we share the knowledge, we spread the word. And then that was it. I was doing that. We started investing in real estate, my husband and I. And then the pandemic happened. The pandemic happened. And remember, I'm a physician. I'm not an entrepreneur. I don't talk to people about money. I don't blog. I don't vlog. I don't do anything that doesn't have to do with GI, my family, travel. That's it. Okay. And then the pandemic happened and everybody and their mother was worried about money. even my colleagues at work, where our income source was the same clinically, they were freaking out about money. And I had zero worry about money. And what that did was it allowed me the privilege of worrying about things that were more important, like health, like family, like what the heck is this virus? How are we going to keep our kids safe through what we don't know? How are we going to take care of their mental health? So I could focus on things that were actually more important than money because I had given myself the gift of money. And then I had this realization that, Latifat, you know how to do the stuff. You know how to explain the stuff. You know how to help people with the stuff. It almost felt wrong at that point to not open up my mouth and help on a bigger scale. And that is when I finally accepted that maybe an entrepreneur is not something that a doctor cannot do. And that's how Money Fit MD started.
You said so much, so much, so much. So you, from out of your own problem and back in residency, you never even looked at, you said, I didn't even know who I owed. I didn't know how much I owed. I didn't know. And you could have carried that on through to even today, because I know a lot of us physicians have done that. We may know who to write our check to or who to actually send the money to through the bank. You know, it's an automatic thing that happens, so I don't have to worry about it, and don't know how to make that better. But something in you made you realize, oh, you said talking about watching other people burn out in medicine and realizing that money is a tool to help you be able to live a better life. I think that's the overall thing of what you said. It opens up so many things, and it's not the having money for money's sake. It's what it can do for you in your life. Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I tell people sometimes it's okay to even have it for money's sake.
Yes.
Right? Because
course.
Sometimes people feel this pressure of, if I have it, I have to know what to do with it. If I have it, I have to know what to create, like what mission, what problem. And sometimes it's okay to just give yourself that space of like, I'm just going to sit with it, and that's okay. I don't need it for joy. I don't need it to add value to my life. I don't need it to determine my worth, because all those already exist. I'm valuable, I'm worthy. And then I truly believe that sometimes what we don't know in the moment, the plan reveals itself, as long as we're intentional about sort of like opening up the space for the plan to reveal itself. And there are times when you sit in with that money is exactly what needs to happen at that time. And then the next season, maybe now let's figure out what to do with it.
That's amazing. Wow. Okay. So it's very interesting to me. I talked to quite a few people, and I've been talking to quite a few physician entrepreneurs. You are still a full-time gastroenterologist, correct?
I am. Well, I've always been 0.8 FTE, and as physicians, we know that should be full-time, but here it's not considered full-time in California, which means that
how many FTEs?
0.8.
Okay, got it. Okay, yeah, full-time.
And that's been the same. Exactly right.
Yeah,
exactly. Like, yeah, that's full-time. Yep, exactly.
People who are not physicians don't understand that,
zero.
100% physician is
140%.
way more, and 80% is over 100% anyway.
I agree. 100%.
You're a full-time gastroenterologist,
full-time GI doc,
mom of 3 or 4.
3, not 4. Do not speak that into existence, because if you do, I'm about to come to your house and drop that number 4 at your doorstep without a return envelope or address. So 3. My parents are like, you should have one more. I'm like, 3. Please don't call that into existence.
Okay. Currently the mom of 3. I'll say that.
Oh God. Oh, that make me run away.
And you're running this amazing business, Money Fit MD, to help other, primarily women physicians, understand money and their positions and probably their limiting beliefs, or our limiting beliefs around money. And many of us don't even realize we have them. How can we know, or if somebody's listening to this, how do they know that you and what you have to offer is something that's really going to make a difference for them? And I think a lot of people don't realize how much it's going to make a difference for them.
Absolutely. And what I tell people is this: sometimes when it's good to just step back a little bit and look at your life and look at your finances and ask yourself, are things where you want it to be? If things are not what you want to be, no judgment about that. It's just an observation, right? Mm-hmm. And then the question now is, where do I go from where I am to where I want to be? And I always tell people, every single thing you want, the journey from here to there is literally just a few knowledge and then a lot of your mind in there. And
Okay.
the reason why is whether you think, like, when you come up with things you want to do, your brain is going to give you why or why you cannot get there. All that thoughts, that's all you. And the key is, if we can figure out a way to make those thoughts work for you, suddenly the educational pieces of it become super simplified. And then you're like, oh, I can do anything because I believe I can do anything, as opposed to I cannot do this. It's hard. It's complicated. Where am I going to get time? Where am I going to get money? And all this
Yeah.
other stuff. It becomes like the block that we put into the path for ourselves. And that is completely normal. That's what our normal human brain does. So if you're not where you want to be financially, it means that you can probably use help. And that help may be through me or not through me, but it just means that there are certain things, there are certain steps that you need to go through. And a lot of that steps, the success or the outcome is going to determine by your state of your mind and how you're able to use your mind to work for you as opposed to working against you.
Gotcha. And the thing I think one of the big things you talk about is that money is really not that complicated. It's not. And I remember being in the surgery lounge talking to some women physicians, and one of them said, I just don't even want to think about money. Every time I start thinking about it and talking about it, I get really sleepy. I just want to go and do this and do this. And I was like, oh, we need to spend some more time, because it's not really people have made it complicated, just like you said, made it like you can't do this, honey. You're okay. Well, let me take care of this for you. And we don't put up with that anywhere else, but we put up with that around money.
Yep.
And that is something that we both are working to change. Now, I know you got out of debt, you paid off all your student loan debt from looking at your website, you've done all these things, you've even invested in real estate. You're having a major impact on our profession by helping people be able to understand their money. What else have you got going on? Where are you going now? This is amazing to me.
That's a really interesting question that I've been trying to answer for myself. And, I truly believe that when I said it's important to not know, I actually really mean that.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay to not know. And I think sometimes we're in such a hurry to know that we actually prevent the bigger magic from happening. So right now, I don't know where this is going to go. All I know is that I'm here right now and I want to help tens of thousands of women physicians learn how to make money simple and not hard. And the reason why that's the case is, I'm sitting down here and it's like the mission field is like crazy large right now, right? The mission field is like crazy large. Physicians are burning out. Like, I don't even need to figure out the next step. I got work to do here.
Plenty to do.
Right?
Yes.
I got work to do here. So for me, it's every time I see a woman physician that is able to use her voice the way she wants to use it, that is able to spend her time the way she wants to use it. I'm practicing GI because I want to practice GI. I love what I do. I was literally on call this week. I came off of call yesterday, and I just love. I get to do this. I had, a patient recently in the hospital with a cancer that was going to be end of life cancer. And I truly believe that I have a gift with speaking and communication. And to be able to speak with them the way that I was gifted to speak with them is a privilege for my soul. And to be able to help them the way that I believe I'm equipped to help them, it's like the privilege of my life. And I choose that. Yeah. And for some people, choosing may mean no clinical medicine at all. Maybe practicing medicine 2 days a week, maybe opening up their own telemedicine, their own private practice, maybe being a stay-at-home mom this season. The key is we all get to practice medicine the way we choose to. We all get to understand that we have options, we have choices. So when you're working in a place where they don't respect your boundaries, you teach them to respect your boundaries or you bounce, right? And for me, that's how we're going to change medicine. That's how we're going to decrease the culture of the suicide pandemic, really, that's happening, where one physician a day averagely is dying. So for me, I believe that money is a gift that we can use for whatever enjoyment. It's also something that gives us life in this way because it gives us the power of choices. And that is what I want every physician to do. And that is literally my mission right now, is every woman physician and even male physician. I have male physicians that listen to my podcast and send me messages. And so every single human that I get to help is like one more life that gets to be here fully. And when we all are here fully, it's a great thing for the world, right? So
yes. I don't know if you guys could hear it, but I could hear it. I can see it. If you're listening to this, go to YouTube so you can see and feel the passion that just came from you. That was amazing to me. You are practicing medicine because you want to. And everybody can't say that. Yes, we went into it because we wanted to, but now I have to because I have all this other thing going on. And having the option, to me, that is key. I can do it because I want to. I don't have to put up with this. You can bounce, you can make them respect you, or you can bounce. And that is worth everything to me.
Everything.
And I think if everyone, male, female, everyone, just what you said, everyone on the planet could feel that, what would this world be? And we are both out to change the world in that way. It is so huge.
Amen.
Oh my gosh.
And I think there's also another part that sometimes you have to experience things to know the value of it. I had something happen to me last year, which I'm not going to go into details about, in our hospital system that would have been a great reason for me to quit.
Okay.
It would have been a great reason for me to say, I'm done. I don't ever want to be in a hospital ever again. And because I have the choice to be there or not there, because money is not the determining factor anymore, because I've diversified my income source, I was able to choose to stay, even when most people would have left.
Yes.
And I don't think a lot of times we're like, oh, it's okay to leave. But it also makes you choose to stay when your decision is now pure and only based on what you actually want to do. And that experience is hard for me to explain, but it was the moment where I was like, my life would be different because I would have taken a different direction and made a different choice if I did not have the freedom to not need this money.
Yes.
It's a beautiful thing.
It is a hard thing to explain. I completely understand what you're saying, is that to be able to make a choice that was probably a hard choice for you to decide to stay, because it's important enough for me to stay here, when the thing that happened for a lot of people would have been, I'm not putting up with this. I'm going to uproot my family. I'm going to do all these things. And that money, that ability to have that option is everything. That is the key right there. That is everything. And that is, for me, how I look at it, is to have that passive income, to be able to understand your money, to be able to know that it is here, is about having options. That is the key right there. It's having options.
It's the key.
You said you guys invested in some real estate. How did you guys get into that? What kind of, are you passively invested? Are you actively invested? You and your husband tell us about that a little bit.
So we are active investors, and we started investing in real estate about 3 or 4 years ago now. We knew we wanted to diversify our income outside of the stock market.
Right.
We knew we wanted to have money coming in now, or the option of spending the money now if we wanted to. We don't need to, because again, we have multiple sources of income. However, if push comes to shove, it's a choice that we want to be able to have. So that cash flow is important for us. And we live in California. Most people that invest in real estate think about when the value of the property increases and when they have more equity in the property. But we wanted to do both equity and cash flow options, because it really gives you the liberty to live life on your own terms now, not just when you sell the property only. Yes. So we started about 3 or so years ago. And the first one was accidental landlording, where we had our primary home that we bought when I was in fellowship, and we moved. So we decided to rent that place out. We found great tenants that we were very grateful. We actually ended up selling the place to our tenants, which is amazing. I just love that you can build wealth your way. And they never imagined they would own a property, ever imagined. And to be able to have the gift of home ownership, we sold it to them below market price because we didn't need to get an agent. It was just the best thing ever. But the first one was accidental landlording. And then we decided that, okay, we wanted to do this. We were reading different websites, reading different blogs, and we're like, we don't have time to go sift in the weeds. Let's go learn from people that had done this before. So we did sign up for a course. And the one that I did specifically is Semi-Retired MD with Kenji and Lady, who have become great friends of ours. And I truly love them. I love their platform and what they're doing with it. So we took their course about almost 3 years ago now. And since then we've bought, we do long-term properties for the most part. And we have one short-term rental as well
Okay.
right now. So
Okay.
we have, I think, 13 doors in 2 states.
Perfect. On it. Oh, that's 13 doors in 2 states. I was about to ask, are you all in California? What's your other state?
So we do Washington State. So we're in Northern California and
Okay.
also Washington State. And
Okay.
people always think, and that's a key, guys. It's so important. Like that mind, powerful. Everyone we saw and their mothers told us it was impossible to cash flow in California.
Yes.
And we're like, what if it's possible? I mean, we already know how to do this. We've learned it. We know the math. We know what we're looking for. Let's try and see, like, what's the worst that would happen? We would be exactly where we are in like 6 months. So we decided to try an experiment. Let's see if we can find properties in Sacramento. And we did. And
Yes.
I mean, it was hard. We were competing with people from, the Bay Area folks that get a lot of bad rep, right?
Yeah.
We competed with the Bay Area folks that had cash. We were competing with people that had, we were getting outbid by like $50,000-$60,000 for a duplex. But we're like, no, we know what we're doing. We know what we're looking for. We're not here to compete. Like we changed our strategy and we got 4 doors in Sacramento and they are cash flowing. The value's gone up and our tenants are amazing. We get to partner with them and provide homes that are safe, that are clean, and that, so it's a joy to do the things that we get to do, really.
That you just pointed out again about your mind. You hear from everybody about what's not possible. Get around people who can help you make things possible. Everything, in my view, and I'm sure somebody's out there going, everything's not possible, but pretty much everything's possible. And I've read, I think it's Marie Forleo, everything is figure outable, everything is changeable unless it's a fact or a law. Gravity, okay, I'm not going to change that necessarily, but I can certainly change my thought that I can't cash flow in California. I mean, it happened, just like the 4-minute mile, 3-minute mile. Nobody thought that could happen until it happened. And now how many people are doing that? A ton. You're pointing out, and just like we know, but don't often think about how much our minds control everything. Our thoughts control what we see in the world. It controls our reality and it is changeable. That is the biggest thing. Yep. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
That is amazing.
My
have, I know, I'm going to talk about your site again, MoneyFit MD. And you had on there, I remember reading owner, you're talking about your video series, or what is that about? Tell me.
So I run a money school for women physicians. It is this membership community for women physicians that truly want to make money no longer hard so they can have money, live the life they want without having to work extra shifts or taking extra calls that they don't want to take. Because y'all know we work too crazy hard and we're sacrificing our lives, our relationships, and the things that add value and really increase the wealth of our lives. And my goal is for us to stop doing that. So I have a way that I teach women physicians how to do this, because a lot of times people think, oh, it's just numbers only. It's not just numbers. I mean, if it's just numbers, you would see everybody with money would be living a joyful life, live a full life, a rich life. And that's not the case. Yeah. And the reason why is there is the numbers part, the financial education. There is the mindset part of things as well that we've talked about today, sort of like the power of our mind and how to optimize that. And there's also a category that people don't talk a lot about, and it's the relationship piece. And what I mean by that is the relationship with you. Mm-hmm. Listen, I don't want to have money if it's going to make me hate myself. So my relationship with myself is important. My relationship with money is important. And my relationship with others is important. And in my opinion, that is all part of wealth building. So if we can combine the financial education, the power of the mind, and optimizing your mentality in a way that's going to actually build your wealth and your relationships, you're good. So that's what I combine together in my money school. And it's a lifetime membership for women physicians. So what they do is they sign up for one time, they pay one time. And for that, they're able to achieve whatever financial goals they want to achieve. And they don't have to pay monthly to be in the program. So it's been like the biggest it's been the biggest gift of my life, honestly, to surround myself with women that elevate other women. And like I said earlier, when women figure out things, they want to tell
They
everybody.
share
So
it.
it's
Yes,
just
right.
amazing to see that in the community where someone's like, girl, I know I hated budgeting too, and I still don't budget, but this is what I do and it's working. Or I thought I couldn't afford real estate. I thought I could never buy. And Latifat was like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah, I'm a family medicine doctor. I don't have money. She's like, are you sure? And now 4 months later, I'm doing a short-term rental and cash flooring, and I'm still a primary care doctor that works with underserved population. So that's what we create in here.
Ah, so amazing. So amazing. How can they find it?
So they can go to my website. It's moneyfitmd.com. At the very top, you'll see a little bar there that says Money School, Money Coaching School. You can click on it. And I also have a lot of free content on my website because I want every single person, whether they're physicians or not, I want them to have money. My program is only for women physicians, but I truly believe that we need all hands on deck. So use all my free stuff, learn all the things. And if you're a woman physician, it will be a joy to help you achieve the money that you want without all the hustling, all the splaining, all the shaming, and all the nonsense that we've been told that wealth should look like. We're changing all that nonsense.
Moving on. Moving. I love it so much. Thank you so much for being here. Dr. Latifat's information will be in the show notes. How to get to her website if you're doing something other than writing down or sitting right now, it'll all be there. Please, please go. Like she said, there is truly a ton of free stuff on there, and not just free and to get you to buy. It is free, really good information. Go there. That's all I can say. Just do it. Thank you so much for being here. I am very much looking forward to our relationship in the future. We're going to have some fun.
We
Thank
are.
you.
And thank you for what you do. Thank you for the platform. The moment I saw your name, I was like, Money with Mission. Yes, please. And of course, I'm going to be having you on my podcast. I want people to know everything about what you're doing because we really do need more humans like you and I redefining money for everybody to see, because money can be good. Money is a tool for great. And the only thing this world is missing is you, your amazingness, and money in your hand. So let's get you in here. We want you to help. We want you to help change the world.
What's your podcast?
It's The Money Fit MD.
Perfect. On all the platforms, you guys.
On all the
find
platforms.
it, subscribe, 5-star reviews, make it happen. Talk to you again soon.
Thank you. It was nice chatting.
You've been listening to Money with Mission. There are projects happening right now where you can have a great financial return while positively affecting the lives of others. To learn more about our opportunities, go to moneywithmission.com.